Hey y'all, hey. So I am Jaquita B. This is day 8 of the Press and Push Challenge. Okay, if this is your first time hearing about it, make sure you go back to the first video. They're all on YouTube, so you can catch up to where we are and join in, okay? As well as there is a link to purchase a workbook and journal attached to the Press and Push Challenge to help you not only gain momentum, but come into spiritual alignment, as well as create a strategy and plan going into 2026. So the workbook is set up to help you, right? Continue your press and continue your push in all the things that God has called you to do. All right, so I'm not going to be on here long. But I normally come on a little bit earlier, but my son had a basketball game earlier today, this morning, and I had some running around to do a little bit, so I didn't get a chance to do it. But here I am, right here, right now, day 8. And today's topic is called identifying fear triggers, right? And the scripture that I am coming from is Isaiah 41 and 10, okay? Isaiah 41 and 10, it reads, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand." So when God is giving you an assignment, or God has given you a new opportunity, right? He's placed something before you that you don't know anything or much about, right? Sometimes we become fearful, okay? But God is telling you in his scripture, in his word, that he is here to strengthen you. He is here to uplift you. He is here with you, on beside you, right? He's going to help you. He's not going to allow you to trip. He's not going to allow you to fail. So I want you to understand that certain things causes us to be fearful. All right, certain things causes fear to be triggered in us, and sometimes fear is often from the past, right? It's from a memory of something that made us feel, that hurt us. It's from a memory that caused us to be in a space where we don't like to be at, right? So those are the things that really triggers our fear. Okay, so fear often hides behind what ifs, okay? What if it doesn't go this way? What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if people don't look at me the same? What if nobody buys what you're telling me to launch, God? What if nobody joins the community? What if my ministry does not reach the level that you told me it was going to reach? What if my book doesn't help anybody? What if my story does not transform or help other people like you said it would, and now I'm putting myself out here on the line? So fear is often hid behind what ifs. We question, what if it doesn't work? As soon as we get something, instead of us, saying, oh my gosh, this is really gonna work, this is gonna turn out great for me, we begin to say, oh, what if it does not work? We begin to speak negatively because it's something that either we have not done before, or we have to go deeper into a thing on another level that we've never experienced before, okay? So when you name the fear, you weaken its grip. So it's important to recognize and identify what causes you to be fearful. Is it just your own thoughts? Is it you feeling like you're not capable? What is it that triggers you to become fearful? And that's what we're going to focus on today, okay? Because let me tell you something, God does not call the qualified, all right? He qualifies those who he called. So you're going to be pushed into areas that you're not familiar with. You're going to be set into places and in spaces where it's going to make you feel like you're not equipped. You don't have what it takes to be in that room. You're not valuable enough. You don't feel worthy enough. So God has to equip you for what he's calling you for, because baby, you are called to do great things. All right. You were chosen for a reason. So we cannot allow fear to stop us from pushing through and pressing toward the mark. Okay. So I just want you to understand that fear really does, it silently shapes our steps. Okay, it silently shape our steps, and most of the time we be like, we have courage in some things, okay, but in those things that are unknown to us, it begins to shape our steps and where we should go and what we should be doing. Okay, so fear, it shapes our reactions, our decisions, our relationships, even our callings. Okay, so God is with us in every moment if we invite him in. So we cannot allow fear to shape how we show up. Okay, if we show up at all, right? Because fear sometimes will have you in a place to where you be like, I ain't going. I'm too scared. You'll have fear stopping you in your tracks, or you'll show up but then you don't show up as your full self. Okay, you give bits and pieces of yourself. So I want you to know that God is with you in every moment, but you have to invite him into those moments where you feel like fear has come upon you, because God has said that don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, but don't be in fear. Don't be discouraged, because I am with you. I am with you. I am going to help you. I am going to strengthen you. I am going to empower you, right? Hello, how you doing? I am going to help you with my victorious right hand, so you have no reason to fear where I am taking you, especially if it is something that I have designed for you to do. You should have no fear in doing that thing, because I am going to send the people. I am going to create in you, right, the character that you need, okay, the strength that you need, okay. I'm going to give you all of that. So there is no need to fear, all right? So a lot of times our fear is triggered off of moments, memories, and people, okay? Situations that causes us to be anxious about something. So fear really is, so this is what we have to decide, right? Is it just I'm being triggered, or am I really fearful? Because what triggers us to be fearful is something that happened in the past that caused us harm, or a memory of something that we feel like we were hurt, or, we were betrayed, or, there was something that caused us to be rejected in a sense, right? So we have to decipher, is it really fear, or am I just being triggered? Okay. And triggered really means there's a familiarity, right? There's something familiar about this situation, about me stepping into the new. There's something familiar about this feeling that I'm getting ready to, like, I'm starting to react a certain way. And because of that, I've experienced this before. So it's a familiar. If it's familiar, that means you're being triggered by a past memory, a past action, a past relationship. And that means that it's a lie. It's because if it's in your future, right, that is, it's being triggered from your past, so it has not reached your future, so that means it is a lie, and you're the one who's carrying that into the now. Okay, so a lot of times what activates the trigger is self-doubt. We begin to talk negative. I don't think I can do this, right? Instead of us saying, I'm about to go in here and I'm about to kill this. Oh, my bad. In there and I'm about to hey, how you doing? I'm about to go in there and I'm about to be successful in this thing. Whatever you're putting your hands to or have put your hands to in this season, like, begin to speak to yourself in a positive way, because most of the time we talk in our minds negatively, right? Before we even get started in a thing, we be like, I don't know if I can do this, or this is about to take too much of my time. I think I'm gonna have to do this at another time or another date, or we begin to push things back. In actuality, that is a trigger of saying that maybe I'm not secure in my position enough, or maybe I don't have what it takes. So you begin to procrastinate in the thing, or you begin to avoid it all in itself. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. Okay. So those are triggers of fear. You begin to compare or shut down. Well, this person over here is doing this. Where's the room for me? Right? Where do I fit in doing the same thing? Okay. So a lot of times we bring on the triggers and the fear ourselves just by the way that we speak to ourselves. So we got to change the way that we speak to ourselves, and that is one of the triggers. Okay, what are you saying about yourself in that moment that fear comes upon you? What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? Because that's what's going to trigger the fear and keep you in stagnation and make you feel like, oh, I can't go through with this. All right. So here are some things that the I'm looking at my notes. Some things that triggers fear, right? Some of the things that it comes from. Maybe you were rejected, and that rejection just like hurt your feelings so bad that you don't want to step into anything new. You don't want to step into the unknown anymore. That rejection made you close the door on the very thing that God called you to do, to a point to where you are stuck. Okay, rejection does not feel good. Being told no does not feel good. The door being slammed in your face, it does not feel good. So rejection will create a trigger, right, to have you fearful of moving in the next direction or going above the no, because sometimes no doesn't mean no for real. It just means next option. That's what I say. No, no means next option. What is my next option? It does not always mean you're not qualified or you can't do that. No, what's the next option? Or not yet, okay? So don't get to let rejection be the thing that stops you, because rejection can trigger you into fear of moving on or moving to the next level or moving past your circumstance. Okay. Another thing, past trauma, right? Past trauma can make you be fearful of going into something new. Okay, because those traumas will have you looking at this circumstance or your situation through a damaged lens. Okay, it'll have you thinking that all the end goal or every opportunity is going to turn out the same because of your trauma. And we have to allow ourselves to heal and allow God into those spaces so that we are not passing our callings by, our purposes by, just because we experienced some trauma in the past. Okay, so trauma will definitely trigger, because it's like it may have been so long ago, but you're comfortable with holding on to it. But the moment you try to step outside that trauma and heal and to better yourself, you become fearful of what the other side is going to look like. But you got to push yourself outside of being comfortable and holding on to that pain and trauma and using it as an excuse. A lot of times we use our trauma as excuse as well, so that we don't move forward, so that we don't put ourselves into the next assignment. Okay, so don't allow your trauma to keep you triggered, because being triggered keeps you in a place to where you are walking on eggshells. You will never be comfortable in, and it's like growth happens in the most uncomfortable spaces of life. So you have to get outside of it, right, in order to grow and to heal from it. When you are secluded in just your feelings and in the trauma, and you're looking at everybody from the lens of your pain, right, it's like you can't see anything else but that. So it triggers you to want to stay put. We Can y'all still hear me on YouTube? Let me know if y'all can hear me on YouTube. Say yes if you can hear me. But when you are prepared, right, it lets you know that the hard work that you've put in, it makes you grateful because you know that it didn't come easy. You know that you had to work for what you have. So be prepared so you don't have to be scared of what's to come. You're going to walk in that door and you prepared. Look, I've gotten all the things that I need to have to walk through this door. I am prepared. Mentally, it takes a little bit more to prepare for the things of God, but that's why you need Him at the center. That's why you need Him in every single moment, okay? Something else that triggers, right, is if you failed previously. Maybe you tried something God told you to do and it failed you. Thank you for the love, King Candy Cane. So you tried something that God told you to do and you felt like you failed before. All right. Can you hear me on YouTube? Say yes if you can hear me because my phone was ringing and I don't know if it cut my sound out, but say yes if you can hear me on YouTube. So if you failed at something previously, it's going to trigger every time you start something new. I started something new and I started it and it didn't work. So what's the use of me doing it again? Because you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience and you're starting with something that maybe God has imparted on the inside of you that you didn't have previously. So now you are a little bit experienced, okay? Now you have a little bit more equipment, empowerment to go forth in that thing. So can you hear me on YouTube? Can y'all say yes? Please, somebody just say yes so that I know that you can hear me on YouTube because I want to make sure before I keep going. Or you may even not like to be embarrassed publicly, okay? You may not like to be embarrassed publicly, and that causes something for you to be triggered, or you don't like to speak in public, okay? I know that's one of the things that are makes a lot of people fearful or is speaking in public. So if that's something that makes you fearful, then you need to do tactics and things to help you. So when you do have to speak in public, right, you will not be so nervous. You will not be afraid. So in I think for that, like it gets easier, but the nervousness is always there. So I feel like the more you do it, the more comfortable you become in speaking in public. But you just have to train yourself and get in a different mindset. So when you do it, you're not fearful, but nervousness is expected. Okay. So those are some of the things that triggers you, right? That triggers fear. And fear doesn't always mean something bad. It could mean that you're not as confident or secure in an area that you're getting ready to step into. Or it could mean that you still need some healing. Some healing needs to be done, right? There's still some healing that needs to be done. Yeah, you can like if you want. Thank you for commenting because I wasn't sure if people can hear me on YouTube. But listen, I think that, fear fear is going to challenge you to be uncomfortable, okay? Fear is going to challenge you to be uncomfortable. And a lot of times we don't want to move outside of our comfort zone. So if it's forcing you to get outside of your comfort zone, then you're going to be scared because we are all scared of the unknown. When we don't know something, we get fearful. When we've never done something that we before, it's like you're going into it blindly, so you don't know what to expect, right? You don't know the ins and out of that thing. Like we really just don't know. So fear it comes over us and it challenges us, right? Am I going to stick here or am I going to push past this and continue my mission? Or am I going to push past this to do what God has called me to do? Because why? God did not give us a spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. So you have the power to go forth. You have the power to overcome. It's just in your mindset. Are you going to allow it to stop you? Fear is fear is from the enemy. It is designed so that you don't go to your next level, so you don't fulfill your destiny, so you don't walk into your purpose, so you're not at the right place to receive the purpose or the promise that God have for you. So the enemy will create open doors or use the doors that you have open, such as your trauma, your past failures, right? Because the enemy can't use anything new. He's not a creator. He can only go off of the things of your past and what you've already experienced. So you have to learn that it's just what I'm feeling in this moment because I don't know. But if I invite God into this moment of me not knowing, guess what? He said he's going to help me. He said he's going to strengthen me. He said that he's going to lift me up with his righteous right hand. So I know that I won't fail. I know that I will succeed because God is with me right here, walking me through it, right here, going through it with me, right? So, fear of rejection can really get you into a space to where you like, I'm just not gonna move, right? And most of the time, guess what rejection is triggered by? If you're a person who don't like confrontation, you don't like to stir the pot, okay? You don't like setting boundaries, you don't like to say no. So the fear of rejection will stem from those things, okay? Fear of not being enough. You may not feel like you are enough, and that could be triggered by, are you comparing yourself to other people? Are you comparing what your purpose, your calling, to what God has called somebody else to do? If you criticism, do you take constructive criticism, or when somebody criticizes you and try to give you corrective criticism, you want to shut the door? You take it so personal that you are thinking, right, that they're saying that you're not enough. In actuality, they just want to help you and give you tools to be better at that thing. Not to say that you're not enough, but to help you become more prepared to do whatever it is that you're doing, right? And sometimes feeling like you're not enough is caused by having to, like, high pressure. Are you always under a microscope? Is someone always watching whatever it is that you're doing? I don't know, maybe you have a job that causes you to be under high pressure all the time. Like you have to perform, like your performance has to be a certain way, like you got to nail it every single time. When you are under high pressure like that, right, that can make you feel like you're not enough because you're having to perform in everything that you produce. So when you're doing something, when it is for God, just know that He is pleased with you doing it with all of your heart. No matter the circumstance or the outcome, He is pleased if you are doing it with pure intentions and you're doing it with all of your heart. God is pleased with your effort. So you have to remember that's the difference in between, doing something for people, okay, and then doing something for God. But when you are doing something for people, you just have to look at it as if it's all doing for God. Like everything that I do, I am doing it unto the Lord and not people. So that will take off the pressure of feeling like I'm not enough or I'm not producing what I need to be producing, okay? So I talked about fear of the unknown. Fear of being hurt again can be triggered by, are you being vulnerable? Are you in position to where you are forced to be vulnerable? Okay, you're forced to share your feelings, or you have experienced some type of emotional intimacy that you were not expecting. And because you are fear of being hurt, right, it will have you scared to move forward in those things that God may have opened a door for you to be in a new relationship. He may have opened a door for a promotion in your life. He may have opened a door for, a new platform or whatever it is. But because you have been hurt in certain spaces and places, you like, oh no, you're guarded. Your heart is guarded and you are fearful of opening up to those people or those places again. So don't allow your fear of being hurt again keep you from loving, keep you from walking into those things. Because let me tell you something. In order to experience love, you got to take the risk to enjoy it and to embrace it in its fullness. You got to take the risk. So you can't go in it fearful because you're robbing yourself as well as the other person on producing